Welcome to Kickstarter Radio 102.4. I'm your host, Lipstickpaddy, and today we're looking at rival restaurants, SPORKS out. Now, I was actually looking forward to this because I've actually been waiting to see if rival restaurants are actually going to bring a bigger box to hold all this cracking content. But they're quite happy for you to just shove it in that one box and have it rising up. You know those boxes you just can't close because of content? Looking at you, Circadian's First Light on my shelf, Wastelands Express on my shelf, Space Base Command Station on my shelf, to name just a few. This is more common than not, isn't it, for Kickstarter games? Especially when you sleeve the things. Anyhow. I'm scratching my head here because the devs here have obviously not shown this Kickstarter to anybody that knows nothing about their new expansion. Because they are not telling you anything at all what this new expansion does for you. It's just bonkers. It really is. Yeah, it's giving you the ordinary stuff you would expect, like more recipes and more action cards and more chefs and more restaurants. But it's giving you two other things that they're not mentioning. Anyway, if you don't know what Rival Restaurants is, it's basically a family weight game that's fast to play, simultaneous play, family weight game, lots of take that going on and all that stuff. And some of the take that is quite punishing, but generally speaking, it's one of those games where if you see someone pushing ahead, everyone bullies them to kind of hammer them so they don't win the game. Because it's kind of a race to become the winner, which is 20 points of popularity. The rounds are timed with a timer, so it does guarantee that the time is quick. Something to consider. I would have preferred a board expansion to go underneath the player boards to make it go to maybe a 30-point game or even a 40-point game, because it would be far more strategic if you did that, because the longer the game goes, the more often you get a chance to swap chefs around and get new powers and things like that. Anyway, some of the criticisms of the game, like this game's been out a long time and they've had plenty of time to innovate, and they seem to be ignoring everything that the negatives about the game are. First of all, this island here, it's like a sloped on both sides, and if you're playing it plays 8 by the way, but it plays 6 I think coming out of the retail box. It's difficult to see the cards without actually standing up, and you're probably going to be standing up anyway when there's a race to get your cards from the markets and stuff like this. But either way, this should be flattened, and if it was flattened, are you hearing me, Gap Closer Games? You would be able to fit more stuff in the box without it rising up, wouldn't you? So it's too big for what it is. It's functional, but at the same time making the box bigger. You can't see over it because of its slopes. That needs to be addressed for me. But hey. One thing to say though, when you get the upgraded version, the money becomes beautiful. You get acrylic parts, the trash becomes acrylic as well, and there's something really exciting going on here with acrylic pieces. This is fantastic because the standees are really big when your chef goes around shopping. However, they do fall over due to their flimsy little footprint, so these standees hopefully will fix that whilst looking stupendous. I'll talk more about that as we go down to the chefs, but it is something very exciting to see. Now, so they're using the same art as, I want to say 5 years ago, and we've had quite a lot of food Kickstarter games since then, and perhaps they could have done a new pass on the art for me. But unfortunately, there's not that many backers coming on this, right? Anyway, so this is the SPORKS expansion stuff. Now, it says Snackle Box here. There's no explanation anywhere what the Snackle Box is. The hint of information you have is from the video, and it's like 4 seconds of the video. It's desperate. There's just no information what Snackle Box is. The Snackle Box is an auction of discarded cards. I'm still a little bit unsure if it's discarded ones. Anyway, you can auction these back. So, and you can see this armed robbery is going to steal money from an opponent. And that's very, very strong card. Which, it just means that they can buy it again. It's... I mean, a lot of people probably take out the most powerful action cards just because they are just too powerful. Although if you use armed robbery, or if you get the chocolate thingy that gives you a bigger income throughout the game, you become the target for everyone to attack, basically, because you're either earning money too quick, or you're just being the bad person, so everyone kind of nails you. This is better to be played with 3 or 4, you know. Otherwise, if you're playing 2 players, just take them all out, basically. Yeah, because it's still a fun set collection game where you're making these recipes and earning up the notoriety. Anyway, so the SPORKS card here. Now, the chefs that are coming in, they don't just have a card with an ability on. They actually have a big card. Look at this. They have a lot of text. They have a special ability. So they have their own wooden meeple, by the way. And they haven't really told us. There was like a stretch goal for, like a pre-campaign stretch goal to get, I think it was 2,500 followers. And they would screen print the meeples. I'm guessing that's gone on. There's no mention of that at all. But in the pictures, it looks screen printed. Now, the cards here are so bad quality, you can't read that. There's no update showing you what these are or anything like that. For me, it's super sloppy. And down here, meet the chefs. That would have been a great time to look at what these cards are. It's not. There's just not. There's nothing there. So yeah, they could have made the chef stand, the standy plastic at the bottom, they could have made that bigger. They've not done it. They're just ignoring all complaints with the game. There's another complaint, really, is when you add the expansion content as well as the Kickstarter expansions, you kind of dilute the pool of recipes, and there's no rules in the book that say, only, because, like, for example, if you get Isle of Cats specifically has, these cards that are laid out A, B, C, D, and E, and it says use 3 letters. So you can go with A, you can go with C, and you can go with D. So you kind of mix up your deck, because here, they're throwing it all in. And when you throw it all in, you might have a restaurant like the Mexican restaurant here, and it says +1 to any Mexican dishes you make. Well, guess what? Because you've thrown everything in, you might never see a Mexican dish in the playthrough. Oh my goodness me. And for me, it would have been better that instead of having this, I can buy an action card on an auction, why not auction out recipes you don't want? Because if someone else has a Mexican recipe, I might be able to buy it from them, or something like this, especially if they really need the money. So it's just, it's like if I was consultant, just came in for one day to tell them what needed to be done, I would be banging them hard to make these changes, because it's just irritating, really is. Anyway, now if you're thinking about components, and if you know, here when you upgrade it, you're just putting these clips on the restaurant here. Now, if I think back to viticulture, they had 3D components for upgrading your farm, didn't they? Right? I mean, it's not too much trouble to upgrade that, because a clip is so retail, and I understand, like, you potentially have got 8 players, so that's 40 components that you need, but you're on Kickstarter. Make it an add-on, or make it Kickstarter exclusive, because those clips still today look slop, like really lazy retail items. I am being a bit harsh on this, but for goodness sake, it's it definitely could do with an update, and I think they've got me a little bit angry by not telling anybody on this Kickstarter page about what this update is doing. This expansion. I mean, no one in the comments is even asking about it, and that's probably because they have come from, they've already backed this game on Kickstarter, and there was some information that was given to previous backers. So if you're a new backer coming in here and you're thinking, ooh, it's got everything, I want to get the all in, well, you are not going to find out what SPORKS Out is adding to the game. There is that. Now, if you look at the art on these cards, they might have been okay 5 years ago, but Kickstarter has moved on, and tastes have got a little bit posher, and I don't think this stuff, for me, stands the test of time. It needs to be better. I mean, come on. An art pass, specifically on the food items, the ingredients, would be better. Anyhow, if you get this SPORKS thing, you get this free expansion. It's basically a restaurant that has no special ability. Like, you might want to make it gateway friendly by not adding that in, right? So everybody's got a fair deal. Add restaurants that have no bonuses. Here's another one. But Phoebe and Jay here, they are part of the SPORKS system, so they have a special ability that we don't know yet what that is. So it basically says here that the very hard to find deluxe edition you can upgrade from retail on this Kickstarter. That's good to see. Extremely limited print run of the acrylic chefs, and because it's extremely limited print run, they're not really getting a sense of, what's the word? Economics of scale? Is that what it is? Economics of scale. Business studies 25 years ago. It's expensive, actually. I think it's something like $50 for the chefs, but they are big, question mark, because if they're the same size as the ones in the box, they're big. And they have said that this beautiful magnetic flap box will not fit in the box. But hold the phone, shouldn't that be a reason for a bigger box? Like, just make a big Rival Restaurants Calyx box for all this content. I don't know. And I know for me, like, if I had this, I would section all my cards out. So I had A, B, C, D, and E, just so that restaurants do pop up instead of having none of your restaurants pop up. I think that's a way of doing it. And then you can say, if the deck runs out, you can just bring in the other deck, right? Bring in a fourth ladder if the game's gone on longer. Now, this is not going to be delivered until September. Is it September next year? Yeah, September next year. Alright. Yeah, each chef does have a unique power, and you will be getting cards that allow you to switch out a chef. But I don't know, if you're not playing it, can you not have a second chef? You know, like if a restaurant's getting more popular, you would get a second chef in. And is that what happens here? Can you, if can no, because it says you can only visit one location per day. But if you've got 3 chefs, maybe you can use the one with the special ability that you want for that specific day. That might be something you might be able to do, or change it, you know, so you're hiring more. So yeah, this is the card art, and I just think it could do another pass. Action cards, one of the most controversial parts of the game. Game's not strategic, it's more party, fun, fast game, lots of interaction and bartering. You know, because the art for the actual food here, the art for the food is actually nice. I like that stuff. I like the cards and stuff. It's mainly just the ingredients. Ooh, action auction. SPORKS, here we go. SPORKS adds a new phase to the day. The action auction. Before money and move, players will get to bid on the leftover money from the previous day to buy 1 or 2 action cards from the powerful Snackle box. Does this stop people buying them and you've got to auction for them? Is that what it's doing? This expansion? Like, normally it's, you just buy these, but here you see what they are and you auction for what they are. Is that what it is? This is the controversial bit of it. So yeah, they tell you that in the video, but it's the chefs that we want to know about. Yeah, the sand timer's the same as the retail. They could have really made that look special, the egg timer. It just looks like such a standard retail egg timer. Super lazy. I don't like it. You know, because if you look at like kitchen timers, even kitchen timers look, even the most basic kitchen timers look better than that, and you could just replace it out, I guess. The garbage bin, for example, you could have done a sticker, put some stickers on the side of that for garbage or something, just to make it look less generic. The discard tray here with the labels on it. Yeah, you can see it's 3D element here. It should just be flat. Anyway. Chests with all the individual powers and all of this stuff. If you're coming in from retail, you get these acrylic coins and rubbish. Now, the auction, you've got to turn this upside down, and so people don't see what money you're putting up. But the acrylic, it's 2 different sizes, isn't it? Like, you're definitely going to know someone's put a 300 down in the auction. It's supposed to be blind auction. So, have they thought that through? Question mark? They need to do an update on these features, because these are lingering questions from what I think most backers would be looking at. And none of these backers in the comments have asked for this, so yeah. Oh, I'm blasting through it. This is the SPORKS out then. SPORKS itself is something like Chef Superpower something. It's an acronym. And we'll look at what that is later if that interests you, because we're going to go to the update of one of the other games where they've actually given a little bit more information about this. So they get their own meeple. My understanding is one of these gets a nuclear bomb that can bomb one of the restaurants. So they're really doubling down on the take that, aren't they? They're not going to bring out a deck of nicer action cards. It's like a pillar of the design of this game to be take that. So yeah, the sport cards here, we have no idea. We want more information on this because it's definitely adding complexity to the game. I'll say that much. Yeah, this is a great card, isn't it? Alien, another nice thing. But again, the Phoebe and Jay, they are part of the fork system, so they have this special ability. And I'm just thinking that if they're going to spork these up, then in the future, maybe they'll spork up all of the chefs so that they've got unique ability and they've got their own unique meatballs. That will probably need a bigger box if you do that. They've already said that with these wooden meeples, they don't know if it's going to fit in the box. They've got their own concerns about that. So, all right, this is the stuff we've mainly seen before. Now it says it $50. Sorry, I want to look at rival restaurants. Right, base game $50. I'm pretty sure you can get that much cheaper on Amazon. So that is a little bit egregious. And I think that is a little bit concern coming in. There is like an upgrade set. So if you can get it for $40 and just get the upgrade deck, maybe you are saving money and you're getting to play rival restaurants before the before this stuff comes in. Now, if you got everything, then you can come in here and get Sparks out in acrylic. That's a 74. Whoo! That bundle is pretty expensive, isn't it? All right, deluxe bundle. Is this everything? Something's missing. It's the acrylic. And if you want acrylic, it jumps up then to 194. Is there something else in this that I'm missing? Sleeves. Right, you get the sleeve packs in this one. Alright, so here's the acrylic chef. Now, they're saying it's going to be $59 at retail. There is a limited run of these, so that is why it's kind of expensive, but I'm imagining they are tall. Like the minis, mini standees, they are big. They're like 80 centimeters. So these are like large standees. You can see the footprint is much bigger, so they're less likely to fall over. They absolutely look fantastic. And when you're playing, you're going to have some of all these out anyway on standby, dotted around the board, and because you potentially are going to get another chef, right? So here are the Sparks out and the alien chef and this cross-promotional person here. Absolute feast. There's a good example of what one would look like, but there's just no scale here. That might get people more excited about getting them when they know how big they are, but we just don't have that information. Again, it's just severely lacking information. You're not really selling this new expansion. You're not selling the expansion. You don't seem to be telling people what it's about. You're not doing stuff. You're not addressing the complaints in the game. And not updating where they could have updated, question mark. They're not highlighting the SPORKS abilities. I mean, for me, it's like, yeah, you can't look at the rule book, not yet. So Is it too early? Did it come to Kickstarter too early? This stuff should be here. That's what I'm thinking. They just came too early. Now, I do appreciate they got Mexico in here. $45 to Mexico is a good deal, I guess. It was under 50. It's a good deal. All right, so Rival Restaurants. It is a really exciting family game that you might play at an event where you've got 8 people round the table. It has that benefit. It's a guaranteed 1 hour. You are using a timer, a retail timer, that you could replace with a kitchen timer. The middle of the board, you could just get rid of it, just put pots out for the upgrade tokens and just put the decks out there because it's a little bit, again, I'm just got a bit sticky picky with it. Get rid of those standees. You can upgrade it with meeples. Absolutely fantastic. That's really gonna make it pop from the board. You've got the all-in with the sleeve decks, and certainly when you sleeve it all up and you've got the acrylic pieces around there, it's going to look the bomb. It really is going to be pimped out. And so yeah. But my concern is that Rival Restaurants is still not finished its development. I still believe there's going to be another expansion down the pipe. And when this expansion comes, there will be the final big box for Rival Restaurants, like Everdell did when they finally finished their thing. This is what happens. We know they're still in development for a further expansion down the pipe. They're not leaving this. This is the company's golden cow that they keep milking. So eventually it's coming. I just hope. I mean, okay, there's still time to go, 23 days to go. There is still time to announce stuff. For me, new egg timer, new middle of the board. I think, you know, give me an add-on deck. Maybe it's a deck of cards with new art. Right, so you don't update all these boxes. You just do a card deck update and charge like $10 for it or something. I don't know. You could definitely hire an artist to redo all the food components and make it look better, in my opinion. Maybe another deck box that you can upgrade, another tenner or $10, $10, that has nice action cards in, not in your face. Take that action cards, that kind of thing. And yeah, it just needs to do stuff. It's like almost there, but it's not there. So it needs to do more for my recommendation, because otherwise I'll just wait until it comes back round again with its other expansion, hope for a bigger box, and hopefully when the big box comes, they do the Everdell complete edition where they get round to finishing stuff that they never got round to. And that stuff that they've not got round to, I've just listed there that they need to do, because, you know, the game is 5 years old, I want to say, and they've gone through all this stuff and they've still not addressed stuff. Right, we're near the end, and I did say I'll go and look at an update. If you go these games, the last update they got, it's so inconsistent between them. If you're at Illyriati, they tell you that Spork is super powerful object to revolutionize the kitchen. Yeah. Will you visit the corner markets and assemble Pamni Yu's Muay Thai boxing ring? Or play mind games with your enemies using salt and pepper shakers? Or perhaps you'll build Papatio's nuclear missile and devastate your rivals. Why are you hiding it on an update from another Kickstarter? You've then got to go to the rival restaurants Back for Seconds reprint and to get more information out, because they've not doubled this out. On the other one, it says we are going to add a new phase known as the auction. It says chef's bid on leftover action cards. That's the discarded ones, is it? No one bought these, so there's like a recycling of action cards if no one buys them. That's what it's kind of doing, and they're going in the snackle box. I think that's what it's doing. It's adding a card rotation. And that's the 2,500 follower thingy. Alright, let's go back. So, 960 backers should probably have more. Needs to tell people more. Get more people excited about this expansion, because Back for Seconds just loaded it with more content, isn't it? And this rival restaurants is this thing. This Spork is adding completely new mechanics to the game, so it's kind of a potentially more attractive expansion that people might want to get, and have some kind of stretch goal that if more people buy the limited print run of the thingy meeples, that they'll come down in price. Because it is expensive because of the limited run, and I think that is. Well, we know if more people order that, it will get cheaper. So they could have done a little stretch goal on that add-on, but it is what it is, isn't it? But if you are coming in here, you don't care about my concerns. You just want to get the game and everything here, dude. It looks great. The standee pledges look phenomenal. And I'm pretty sure when you know about the expansion, you're going to get more excited. And then you've got that bigger question, are they going to spark up all the other chefs? You know, that's probably going to be the next expansion, is to do a full Spork rival restaurants. And that'll be fantastic, won't it? Because you basically turn this game from family weight into a little bit more strategic, because of the complexity's gone up a little bit, so it might turn it more into a gamer version of rival restaurants. But it's not quite there, only with a limited 5 chefs, isn't it? But if you're like me, just wait for the final restaurant version when it comes in a bigger box. So on that bombshell, thank you so much for watching. Give me your thoughts down below. Are you, like me, just going to wait it out? Are you scratching your head at why this information's not been here? Have I been fair with my criticisms of the game? Let me know down below. And do you have the game, and are you wondering if the game will get something that I've not mentioned or this Kickstarter hasn't either? Like, what would you like to add to this game? Alright, thanks for watching, peeps. I've been your host, Lipstickpaddy. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. We've been looking at the rival restaurant Sparks Out, the mysterious expansion that they can't be arsed telling you about, just not yet. 23 days to go, and hopefully we get more surprises and more reasons to back this game. But as it stands, we can give it a recommendation. Boo! I know. Needs to do more. What can I say? You take care, stay safe, and bye-bye for now. This is Kickstarter Radio 102.4. You take care. Bye-bye.